Player ranged. +8. It's pretty nice. Flutter's still really good. Alright, so for the vampires we want to run today, we're running Blunt Set, naturally Crystal Skull to protect our, usually this Necrot. Could also be an Alp or a Garkin, depending which one do round 1. And we also have the Oniromancy and the Decree here for consistency, because we want to push this round 1 pretty much all the time. And then we have the Regis Reborn for carryover, finisher, typical Regis stuff. Crimson Curse and Detlef. I'm running both of these because I like them. You could run an Unseen Elder in here. It's fine too. The idea between these guys is they're just here to put out the Blood Moon for a bunch of bleeding, so you can trigger Flitters that way. And the Blood Moon's fair value as well, so that's why they're in here. Detlef in particular does play. They both play with 6 points on deploy, and Detlef can give us engine value potentially. So that's nice. And then for engine cards, in addition to that, we have the Catachan and Oriana, which are really good for round 1, especially the Catachan. If you open with this and they can't kill it, it's really good. Great candidate for your Crystal Skull if you think you're going to get pushed round 1. And then we've got Oriana is just, she's really good if you got bleeding out. She's really good if you have Flutters out and you want to boost a whole bunch of points on them. So she's just really nice to have in the deck. Against stuff like Guerrilla Tactics, they'll move her, but usually you can get value from her deploy anyway. So she's nice to have. And speaking of the Flutter, we have Proto Flutter. So the idea with Proto Flutter here is just kind of an alternate finisher. If you haven't used your Blood Sense, which is possible if you're getting your bleeding from Crimson Curse and Detlef, you can use your 3 leader charges and then play Proto Flutter. So it'll put 9 bleeding on a target, he'll put 3 on a target, and then boost himself by 12. So that's pretty nice as an option to have in the deck. So I thought we'd run Proto Flutter because usually I didn't. And I made a video about him a while back. So let's try him out. And then as far as the rest of the deck, pretty standard. We've got the Operator Spawn Flutter. We've got Queen of the Night for that Purify, so we don't have to spam all our bleedings on one target if they play a Defender. We've got Flutter, our engine card. We really want to see this round 1. I ran 2 Incubus. You could run 1 Incubus. You could probably run 0 Incubus. We're not going with the Megascope version here. Just the Flutters and the Incubus to bring them back potentially. Incubus can also bring back your Alp, which isn't bad, or your Necrot. Like, these aren't bad things to bring back, especially because Necrot has Zeal. Just gotta watch out what you bring back for the opponent. But you can cut the Incubus if you want. I just felt like I wanted to run 1 or 2. In this case, it will be 2. We've got the Alp and Necrot already mentioned. Great cards for round 1 value. Undying Thirst, give that 6 bleeding. The Feast of Blood. This is just hidden here as a second Purify, so you don't get like wrecked by a Defender card. We've got the 2 Garkins and Bruxus for engines, round 1 and value. Now, the weakness here is you notice we don't have a Heat Wave. You can swap Crimson Curse or Detlef for a Heat Wave if you want to run Heat Wave. Although, to be fair, I haven't seen any scenario decks, I don't think, this season. Not even Knights. Knights kind of just disappeared. They didn't get nerfed that hard. But yeah, I guess they're just gone. But this is the deck. General idea is we want to pressure round 1, these Flutters. Then round 2, we kind of want to bleed them out. And then round 3, finish with Regis. Maybe Proto Flutter if we don't have the Regis, but we should definitely have him. That's the idea here. It should be pretty good. And let's go check it out. So here we have Soldiers. Soldiers is an interesting one because we're both really heavy engine decks. The nice thing for us is that the bleeding ignores his armor. It's going with the I don't think that card's good. The one that spawns 2 extra ones. I'm pretty sure it's bad. But he's using it. We don't want 2 Undying Thirst. We have Operator Flutter. That's really nice. Not going to see that every game, but it's really nice when you see it. Let's see what he's going to go. What he's going to go with. The Crossbowmen are really good value if he has Crossbowmen. Which he probably does. It's like 4 a turn with 2 crossbows. Which is kind of crazy. But a Flutter's also kind of crazy, to be fair. Oh, it's Cultists. Again, we have no Heat Wave. So we don't have anything we can destroy this with. I said earlier I didn't see any scenario decks all season yet, and here we go, we got one. There may have been one more Cultist deck. Actually, I might have seen another one. Like, they're very, very rare in my experience, which is surprising. To me, at least. Do have to be careful, because if he makes flutters and then makes our Vekarats with the initiate spam, then that's not great, but we'll see if that's what he's doing. You can't copy initiate status, though, with the servants anymore, so that won't be too bad. Is this going to be a lock, I'm guessing? Oh, it's just the crossbow. So there is the crossbow. We can get his value in. We need to win this round, so we're definitely playing the second flutter. And his bleeding will kill the crossbowman eventually. And then we can go Nekarat to maintain our bleedings. That's not how flanking works, buddy. You're supposed to put this on the other end. Whatever. He'll learn eventually. Maybe not. These are going to keep up pretty well with us, though. Like, we've got similar engine value on the board right now. Other crossbowman. It's... Stop being bad. Put the crossbowman in the right spot. No, put it on this end. You know, it annoys me when people do the wrong thing. Especially if it means they would have won if they didn't. It's supposed to be over here. You're losing out on, like, a point a turn. Unnecessarily triggering me right now. We'll just play another Nekarat. We should be able to keep up, despite all this. We should be able to keep up here. These guys are gonna die, so we played a second one. But I think we have the no, put it on the end. Sorry guys, this guy's annoying me by being bad. Play your cards right. Oh no, put it on this end. I'm gonna friend this guy after and just tell him in case he doesn't know. Not to like be mean or anything, but I feel like he should know. Oh, he's got the soldiers too. Nice. He's got a. He's kind of all in on this round one pressure, isn't he? Undying Thirst is going to play for a whole bunch. But we're going to run out of time to play Crimson Curse. So I think we will do the Crimson Curse here. Crimson Curse is nice because it means we don't have to take a turn to win on even. This guy would not have lost on even if he played flanking correctly. Like if you put these on the right sides. But we're in a good spot now. He's got no leader charges. He's playing the War Council. And he's played the two guys out of the deck, so it's not Renfri. So he's just used his whole leader. What do we want to go with this round? We would like to bleed. So I think our best way of doing that will be to go Oniromancy into the Incubus. Bring back the Flutter.
Sins of the flesh are my speciality.
Bring back our Flutter. And then use our last leader charge. We want to not end up in a long round with the Eclipse. There is the Eclipse. We'll throw down our Detlef here. This will apply plenty of pressure. Let's see what Cultists he got infused here. Tibor, so it's a Tibor deck. Can't say I'm too surprised. Can't say I'm surprised, if we're honest here. We're going to kill this Initiate. I mean, the Initiate's going to die anyway. We'll have to kill it. We play a unit from our deck. We have another Flutter. Problem is we can't trigger Flutter this turn. We can get 2 more units, so I want to Oriana next turn. Maybe we just do the Flutter. Let's play the Bruxa. He's gonna get infused. He's gonna lock us here. We don't mind the Alp getting locked.
And its retinue.
Marked by the Fiendu.
We can still go with the Oriana this turn, by the way. Or after the Alp. We'll play the Alp. We still have Regis. So I think our short round, well, I'm pretty sure our short round's just better. It's good that you put this on here because this locks doesn't do anything. We'll play the Oriana. This will be a nice boost for our Flutter. These initiates are going to be pretty good. Though we want to just pressure until we just have Regis to see if we want to play him or not. Alright, there's his points here. So we'll go round 3 up a card. Got rid of the T-Born and everything. Still have Regis, we should be good. It's exactly how we want to play the deck. I don't imagine his short round has much going for it here, but we'll find out. Undying Thirst is a card that I'm not sure about. I think I'll put it back. We can just purify off his first infused card too, by the way. It's pretty good. But we should be in a very winning position here. So we have a Niromancy and Decree. We can go Catachan. Catachan's a good one to get. But then we don't have a way to put out Bleeding. I think it's still the best choice.
Tremble before the light of the great sun.
We could just purify that instead of putting out Bleeding. What are you going to Oniromancy? Could Oniromancy the Feast of Blood. Well, before we do that, we should Incubus. We should Incubus.
No worries. Sins of the flesh are my speciality.
Just to see if it lives or not. It's a lot of value he's got. This is gonna get boosted a fair bit. I think Feast of Blood, or I think the Purify card is the best one here. So we will do that. He's gonna get a fair bit here, but we purified off the, we could purify the Cultist tag. This isn't great. This will move melee, though. We should be fine. So we do have that card advantage, you know. And we also have Regis, so this will be completely fine. This will be a GG.
In particular interest you?
Double cross. So we'll see if this is the Renfri deck.
Also for those who would otherwise incinerate themselves.
Could also just be Assimilate. You never know. We have a lot of stuff going for our round 1 pressure here. Because we can decree out Operator, and we have both Flitters, and then we have a lot of good bronzes to synergize with that. So I'm kind of liking how this looks right now. Depends what he's running. He did spawn the extra 2 in deck, or it's Renfri. I wasn't looking to see if the spawn animation appeared. My guess is going to be like some kind of soldier assimilate, because you do spawn cards with like Nausicaa Sergeant and such, so that's my guess.
What is truth, if not
Okay, it's just Renfri. It's just 27 card Renfri. The amount of disdain I have for this deck is kind of unreasonable, but I do have it, so. Let's go with the Decree, get our Operator. Make Flitter for each of us. He should be lacking in control. Well, somewhat lacking in control because of the Renfri. What are the 2 non-Renfri cards, I wonder? Yeah, this is, we knew this was coming. We're gonna have to go double Flitter here. We might even go triple, but we want to play the Alp first in that case. Let's play around. Not even sure we play around here. Maybe Yurden Igni. But no, if you have 27 cards, you can't fit that. You can't. 27 cards and you're playing Artorias Vigo, I don't think you can fit that, so we should be fine there. Some bleeding. Now, he did go first, so we're the one potentially applying pressure. He can't pass, because you don't trigger if you don't play a unit. Oriana is really good here. Really, really good. How many vampires do we have? 1, 2, 3. Now we can wait another turn then. Potentially get out more bleeding. Or more vampires for that bleeding. Throw our Garkin down here. Keep this pressure on even. We do have some cards which are okay for him, but most of these aren't going to be great if he just double crosses us. Most of these cards aren't going to be good for him. So I'm not too afraid of double cross. It's not like we're holding an Igni or something. More crossbows. Must say that is what I expected. Should still be fine. Like, Flitter is a crazy engine on its own. It's not like Crossbow's the new best engine in the game. It's good, but it's not that good. Go apply this. This will kill it. Probably worth getting rid of. And if we lose a couple bleeding points. Unfortunately, he did hit these both to 14. So if there's an Igni, I'm going to be kind of annoyed that this random pings did this. Oh, it's Igni. You don't like emote like that unless you're holding the Igni. Yeah, I guess he could fit it with the 27 cards. Got some good pings there. That's for sure. Apply our Oriana. He got really lucky on that one. So we go... This is points, points, points. I think we do this. Then we get 8 and he loses 4. Yes, we do this.
True love could lift the curse, but who would love?
Just that is all I need.
Alright, so I think we just do this Thirst for Blood, or we do the Bring Back Flitter play. We gained 3 overall from the bleedings here. We gain... He takes 6, and we gain 6. So that's a 12. It puts us at 39. So we have time here to play Flitter, and then one other card. So we'll play the Flitter here. We do take 2 here. We also I just canceled this out by the Garkin. That's canceled out. He could pass here, not uneven. I'm kind of annoyed about these crosswind pings. I said I didn't have to worry about, probably not have to worry about Igniting because of the 27 cards, but apparently we did. Apparently we did. He's going for his double cross here. That's good. If we can get rid of that. None of these are good for him. This is the best. It's like a 10. He should have used this first, though. We do have Feast for Blood. Or Feast, Undying Thirst. I always call this thing the wrong. Always call this the wrong thing. We have Flitter Follow-Up, so this should be fine. This gives us 6. Let's see. Let's count. We lose 4, so we're at 30. This gives us 6. That's 36. We get 4, then 1. So this is 5. No, we don't have enough. Well, we have the Flutter, Proto Flutter with this. We need 27. I think we have to pass. We don't need 27. 24, we need like 20. I don't think this is... Yeah, I think we're fine. It should be good enough. Because we have Oriana boost, and then this will be a big deploy if we put it on this Proto Flutter. This will be a big deploy, right? So this should be good enough, because this triggers the Flutter again, which is why it should be good enough. And then this will counter this. Good. A lot of counting there. Proto Flutter did a great job, by the way, that case. He still does have Renfri. Does have Renfri. We can't do anything this round against him. We don't have cards to pressure at all. We just kind of have to take his round 3, I guess. Cool, so he can drop this. I wonder what his 2 non-units are. Or if he spawned the extras in his deck. It might just be the Darlian Soldiers. Which I don't think is a good idea. But maybe it is. Crossbowman Ping has got... So annoyed by that still. Alright, so let's see here. Oh, Neuromancy's nice to have. We can use it to get our Regis. Don't need 2 Incubuses. Probably just open with Crimson Curse. We wish those are spread out more. Maybe we just bring back our Flutter. Let's go Necrot. Hopefully if he has some kind of removal card, he uses on this. And we want to get Bleedings out to make sure our Regis is as big as possible. But Renfri is a really scary one.
I despise Dimeritium.
Get more bleeding out. Crimson Curse. We're losing time to play Crimson Curse, but we don't want to play it when it just gonna hit the damage is gonna hit armor. Like we're waiting for something like this where there's a spread out row. And then we can play our or revive our Flutter. Hopefully with this. With the order available from this, so we know we're gonna get something. I'm gonna play this on the other row. He still has Renfri, which is the problem.
Gotcha,
I'm not sure how you... I guess if he has these soldiers... It was these soldiers, not a 27 card deck. That makes sense. I just didn't see in the beginning. That's what happens when you're not paying attention, guys. Renfri's gonna be really scary. It's like, I think his Renfri's gonna be worth more than the Regis, which will cost us the game here. But we'll see. Because we probably lose Flutter to the Destroy ability. Which meant we could have boosted out of range with Queen of the Night, but I didn't want to play Queen of the Night here, because that means we don't get to scrimp this Blood Moon. Now he's going to be bleeding his Flutter, which is bigger than our Flutter, because that's how Nilfgaard works. It's probably Renfri for the Destroy. It'd be really weird if he didn't do that. Really weird. It's not. Did he not get his Renfri somehow? I know of no other reason why you wouldn't just do that. This is nice, though. At least do that. Queen of the Night for her 3 bleeding.
Your deepest, darkest dreams, I can make them real.
We could put this on the chance that the Blood Moon doesn't kill it. Then we can use this again. The Blood Moon does kill it. It's really bad, though. I think we'll take the risk. Well, like I said, I think it was worth it. Oh, no Renfri. Okay, so he just didn't draw the Renfri. That is one way to win the game. It also happens when you build a deck completely based around one card and don't draw it. Could have got an extra point here, but like it doesn't matter. We're just playing this guy. Yeah, he just didn't draw his Renfri. Alright, our first opponent looks to be Enslave. So this is not a great matchup because of the amount of control they run. So that's one thing to watch out for. A lot of control will be very annoying for us. I'd like to see Operator and Flighter round 1 every single game pretty much. We do have that, which is good. Might tempo play Incubus round 1 just because all of our engines are getting killed. But we'll see what this guy opens with. He does have the Enslave 6. So things to watch out for are going to be the Hefty Helga, the Stefan, all that good stuff. We play Necrot. He's going to hit it with like 2 specials and it's going to die. We could also go just Operator Flutter. It's typically the play we want to do anyway. This is pretty hard for him to kill without playing Stefan or seizing it. And it helps get our Regis going. And it gives us targets for bleeding. Like, this is just overall pretty good. And we definitely want to go with a point slam type later round. We just have to watch out for him having Nausicaa Sergeants, because those are going to be quite good going up against us here, like in our strategy. Those will be very good. Having said, if you use Nausicaa Sergeants and the 1 power guys that come out of your deck, those are all not good round 1. So he's going to have to... Okay, there's Hefty Helga. If we go Stefan next, we get blown out completely. Do we think he will? So it's a possibility. Is a possibility. Could play Crimson Curse. I think we want to go with second Flutter. Just because of how scary this thing is. This plays into Treason. But I think we need the 4-point boost to protect this. If he has Treason, this is bad. But not everyone runs Treason, and it's a 1-of. Whereas if we don't boost this, he could just play, I don't know, like anything to kill this. We'll just play our next card in between them if he doesn't Treason this turn. Toad Prince is an option, by the way. If you want more control, you could run Toad Prince instead of one of the engine cards. Okay, so we didn't have something to do here. Now we avoid playing into the trees as much as possible. Stefan's still really good. Any special, make sure this dies. So War Council. To Ardle, it's a 14. Yep. We don't have Gales in this deck, so we couldn't fit all the 6 provision cards while still fitting Incubus. You could cut the Incubuses for them. Give us back a Flutter. We're going to play that Flutter. That Flutter is now going to die. This Hefty Helga's gonna kill it. Oh, he's gonna kill this. He might kill them both. We do have the Incubus. We can't use it quite yet. We're gonna go with an Amnesty Steel. Our Flutter still lives here. Not anymore. But this is a good card for Incubus. Like, we can Incubus this. We could go Crimson Curse. I think that is a good idea. Probably want to throw down this Garkin too. We do have Oriana. Since we know he's playing Tactics, the only tactic that really kills something this high is going to be Glorious Hunt, but this is base power 4, so I think it's safe. Alright, here's the combo. He won't have this later then. I was talking about single cards that kill this. This does, but it's quite a bit of value for him. Alright, so we're down by what? We're probably going to do, at a minimum, we do like 1 damage here. Do 1. Interesting. We could do Oriana. Do we have time to play 2 cards? You do like Oriana, Garkin Leader, Oriana, Queen of the Night. We want to play the Oriana here. I don't want to play the last leader. I want to tempt him to play the Enslave. The problem here is this dies to Assassination, so we have to play it ranged. But I don't want to take a 50-50 on this spawning the Ekamara ranged and losing the charge. We'll see. And like I said, this hit the 2 armor. That was our minimum value here. 1. That's not great. It'd be much better if it hit a different unit. But that's okay. Alright, so he is going to pass. That is what we want. We're going to end up with a long round 3, which isn't the worst thing. It's not the worst thing. He's going to get bleeding here. Pretty sure we can get away with just a Garkin. Go to 21. She gets +1. +2. It's 23. This goes to 25. Actually, we might not get away with that. Let's go Queen of the Night.
Be not afraid. This will only hurt.
And having Enslave does not bode great for our last round here. I think we do want this, because he might be playing Fifion for the Defender here. Basically, for round 3, you're going to want the second Flutter and these two. These are the cards we want to find. Really, we'd like to go for a short round 3, but I guess we're going to end up with a long round. This is a 5. Could bring back Flutter still with Incubus, so Incubus back Flutter. Incubus on this card too. They're both good. I'm just kind of scared about this Enslave, especially because we don't have a way to kill a Damien. So if he does play Damien, he'll double Enslave us. That's not good. Just discard it. Or you can do that, that's fine too. You have 2-card advantage, so you can afford that. I guess you have to play the tactic with Magni Division, don't you? Yeah, you have to play it, you can't discard it. That's good, we got rid of a Nausicaa Sergeant. Potentially a scary card round 3. There's one of the cards we're looking for. I also don't think Thirst of Blood will be great here. There's Undying Thirst. Just because I'm suspecting our Flutters will die. If we do need it, we can Ownermancy it. Alright, he's gonna get Decree for the Fire Scorpion. Can't say I'm surprised. That does mean that we don't want to play a Flutter right away. Not that we have a choice. Might Decree Catachan. But if he seizes Catachan, that's not good. This is just not like a great situation we ended up in. We didn't have a way to kill Hefty Helga round 1. Like, having Toad Prince in hand or in the deck would have helped there. But we didn't. I think we just want to get out our Catachan. I want to spawn some vampires so we can get this bleeding with Detlef. And then not have to leader for the extra Flutter value. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about.
To be showered with Imperial gold.
That's going to be his Seize, so he's going to be playing Damien. Damien's a problem. I think we're just going to get destroyed here. We're honest.
I'll defend the Duquesa to my dying breath.
If we play a Flutter, he's going to seize it. Gonna take our Knucker out. Okay. So we're playing from 34 points down though, but hopefully he doesn't have any more of this stuff.
No worries.
Problem is he has a Flutter and a Necrot of his own now. So this is not good that he has this, but there's not much we can do. He has our 3 engine cards. This is just kind of how Nilfgaard works. You play stuff, then they have it.
Target acquired.
Yes, like now he has this combo, we don't have anything.
There is no other way.
I like Hopus he has no point slam cards, and that Regis and maybe Protoflutter can do something, but I'm finding it unlikely. Very unlikely. Watch this make another flitter. Okay, that works for him too. Lets him kill our Detlef. I mean, he could have killed Detlef. You just ping this with the 2 damage here. Oh no, it's Frost, not a Thog. Yeah, you're right, you can't kill it. I think we do have to Garkin. We want this going. Might just go for our Flitter as well. Oneiromancy, another Flitter. It's probably the best choice. I mean, it's also just gonna die, and we can get unlucky and put the bleeding on one of these again. This is just gonna die anyway. But we have to try for it, because it's our only card that's gonna work. We know he has a Nausicaa Sergeant, which does create a tactic, but it's not a tactic. So I'm thinking of what removal cards he has left. He might play second Amnesty. If he amnesties this, that's really bad, but again, there's nothing we can do. Get our Garkin going a little bit. Regis gets us like 20, which is close. Depends how good his cards are. Like, this is really good for him. Gonna lose our Detlef here. Like, these are really bad cards, but they're not. One's probably Triss, Meteor Shower, and the other one's this Nausicaa Sergeant we know about. This is just not quite a big enough Regis for this Triss Meteor Shower. If it's not Meteor Shower because of the Damien, then we're okay, but I think it is. Oh, it's just Battle Preparation. Still not big enough, I don't think. It'll be closer than I thought it would be. Closer, but not enough. Just by 1, though. GG.
Do what I can.
So he's playing the soldiers as well. Tactical decision. I have seen a couple of mill players, but I don't expect it to be mill. Just could be. Oh, the Brooks is not bad here, but I think we want to... We're looking for a Flitter. Don't have one. We have a lot of golds, which is not really what we're looking for here. Then again, we do have Catachan with the Crystal Skull, which is a nice opener. We'll just rely on this instead, go Flitter later. We won't draw him every game.
Defeat them with hunger.
Okay, so this is going to be the Albrich Hyperthin. That is something to be worried about. Throw this down. We have to commit big cards here. You can't let him boost this thing. We have to make sure he uses it round 2. This is an interesting deck, by the way. The Albrich Hyperthin. Is it Albrich? I think it's Albrich. It's an interesting deck. Should have played this on the rogue. Case Catachan can spawn 7, but I don't think there's a way he's spawning 7. Renfri, Albrich, Hyperthin. What a surprise. Oh wait, it's not a surprise, because for some reason Renfri just reappeared everywhere. We should have played a Flitter there, but I was busy being annoyed. So now we're just not going to play a Flitter. That's how this works. Can't pretend to... No, I'm just kidding. We do not ascribe to the sunk cost fallacy. We should still play a flutter. I want to reduce this again. I want to put this to 7. Okay. We have a really nice hand. We just need to draw a flutter. Playing this flutter means we're less likely to draw one, so that is potentially an issue. We can always make on one of these Neckarats, though. It's not too bad. Although we don't want him having a Neckarat. We really wanted flutter. I'll make a Garkin. That's probably just as good. Sort of. Sort of just as good. We have to bleed him here. Like, we have every gold card in our deck except Detlef. This is a discount flutter play. Super discount flutter play. That doesn't mean Garkin's bad, though. It will give us a lot of points. And I think we will deploy our Detlef out of our deck once we get these two vampires next to each other. He does have Snowdrop leader play, which is really big. There's the Fisher King. This is an interesting deck. I've seen this a couple times. I'm not sure how good it is, but it seems not bad each time I've seen it. That was a terrible sentence. Pretend I didn't say that. We want to go with the Detlef, so we will decree the Detlef here. Put out the Blood Moon. So it's bleeding on this row. When there's a lot of small stuff like this, you pretty much just want to put the bleedings on the row without Blood Moon in case you put like 2 bleeding on this and then you hit it with the 2 damage.
It is peace you desire. Prepare for war.
So he's gonna get his big play here. He's doing his hyper thinning, but we have to make sure this round to get rid of this. It has to be gone. We don't have a good target for this here. We could spawn 3 if we wanted. I think we'll just hit this. I think this is overall just better. And I think we want to Oniromancy a flutter here. The reason we really want this flutter out is because this Orianna is going to be a huge deploy. I don't really want to miss out on it. Like these guys, this finisher set here will be really nice. I'm assuming we play against this the same way we would regular Hyperthin. The problem is the Renfri makes this push really difficult. Get 3 bleeding here.
Your deepest, darkest dreams, I can make them new.
Orianna's really going to be big. There's the Renfri. We just want to wait till he does the Renfri order so we see if he can destroy her or not. And if not, we want to get her above 8 power before we play her. That's why we're holding off, even though she does get a lot of power very quickly. Spawn Stratagem. Okay, that's fine. I forgot we had Curse Scroll. And then it's the passive boost. Snowdrop here. Goes back on top when he shuffles his deck. That's really convenient for him. Shuffles it and goes on top. Must be nice. Must be nice. What else is nice is how big this Orianna deploy is going to be, by the way. Check this out. Player ranged. +8. It's pretty nice. Flutter's still really good. The thing is just, this is like a Yrden Igni row, but I don't, in my experience, the other people I've seen playing this didn't play it. But you never know, they could. It's gonna be a big proto flutter. Really big. We're gonna put on Renfri, it's gonna be huge. Mata helps us because it's Undying Thirst, which it does. So that's nice. It's gonna be pretty helpful. I mean, he has to have Vilgefortz or something, right? You can't have no removal. He might just go for the... like, these are the Triss, Yennefer, Sunset Wanderers. He's going to draw the Albrich. And, okay, so I think he just moved the oh, he revealed the Albrich. It's in his hand. I think that may have been really bad for him, if we're honest here. Oh, we were supposed to Proto-Flutter for an extra point, but... whoops. Does he have a Yurden? I don't think he has a Yurden, but we'll play around it just in case. We should have done this before he did this. By playing around Yurden, I just mean that... okay. Yeah. He drew the Albrich. So that's kind of how we dealt with that one. GG. So that was vampires for you. I do like vampires. Specifically, I don't really like the Renfri and Witch's Sath version. Not because they're bad. I just don't really like the design of those cards. So, that's it. But you can see here, you can make regular old vampires work. Non-devotion, nothing like that. No mega scoping. We do use the Incubus and the Operator, though, for a couple extra flutters. So it's non-devotion, also with the Decree and the Oniromancy. I think you really want these for consistency in vampires. I don't think Devotion I think Devotion Vampires, which is Sabbath, is like a gamble deck, and it's too unreliable. Like, it blows people out completely when it works, but you're just not even going to draw them with great cards a lot of the time. That's why I'm not a big fan. But as far as this goes, I think this is good. You definitely want the consistency. Dettlaff Crimson Curse over Unseen Elder Heatwave is up to you. I really like having the option of spawning the Blood Moon, because I think the Blood Moon row effect looks cool. And we're going to be honest here, that's the biggest reason I play these cards. I think they're cool, and I like how Blood Moon looks. But Unseen Elder's good as well. It does a similar thing where it puts out 2 bling each turn, like the Blood Moon does. The alternative, though, is that he can die, he can get enslaved, and you stopping that a turn. Whereas once you put out the Blood Moon, no, it's going to go out there. Unseen Elder can also get locked, so this is more consistent. Unseen Elder has a higher potential. You know how it is. Pretty standard with there. And also Heat Wave. You could run a Heat Wave if you want to deal with stuff. Did we run to anything we really wanted to Heat Wave this game? I think we did. I don't remember what it was. Oh, Eternal Eclipse. We wanted to Heat Wave. And also Toad Prince. Toad Prince is a good one for that little bit of control. It kills a crossbowman, which is really nice right now in the current meta. And it also kills Hefty Helga, which is also really nice in the current meta. So I think we should put Toad Prince in. You could also put in, where is the Arrakis? There, Armored Arrakis. Gives you a lot of, the bleeding equal to base power can be really big. So that's a nice card as well. I just think we'll put in Toad Prince real quick. Once again, we might cut the Proto-Flutter, but I think I'll put in Toad Prince. I'll do that after this. Otherwise, I'll change it, save the changes, and then I'll upload the wrong deck code. I did that once, and I'm still not over it. It was like a year ago. But yeah, we have the Oniromancy here and the Decree. I think they're really key. I don't know if you'd really want to cut these for anything. I think these are supposed to be in the deck, which means you're kind of limited on provisions, other than, like, because you have Regis, Oniromancy, and Royal Decree. And then you've got, like, 2 10 slots you can swap around here. And I guess you could cut Catachan as well, although I really like it for the spawning. Especially, it combos really well with the row effects. If you got Catachan out, and then you go, like, Crimson Curse, Dettlaff, this thing cools down so fast. And it cool down really fast is helpful for Oriana, and then her deploy can really boost the flutters, so they all synergize really well together. It's just a pretty nice set overall. But either way, hopefully you learned something here. Hopefully you enjoyed the deck. I did have fun with it. Now, the Incubus 5 slot you can swap around as well. That's fine. This could be anything. There's plenty of 5-prison cards you could run. They don't have to be monsters cards, right? Like, if you're in monsters, you could just cut these 2 not 5 percent for 4. So you can cut those 2 for the Plumbards if you like Plumard. I just don't think it's quite good enough anymore, so I don't run it. But if you think it's good enough for you, you can put it in a deck. I just think you'd probably cut this for like maybe a second Feast of Blood, because having that's really nice, especially with the Purify. Or you can cut it for a neutral, because there are plenty of options to go with a neutral. You can go with the Mahakam Ale for the unlock. You can go with the classic, what is it? Where is it? Where's Spores? The classic Spores, classic Squirrel. There are plenty of options. You could also go with this guy, Vile Forbidden Knowledge, if you want. I'm not the biggest fan of that, though. Not in this deck, at least, because you like playing vampires out of your hand, which is the only reason Plumard gets considered, I think. But anyway, guys, this is the deck. Some changes you can make there. I think it's pretty good. And you have a lot of engine value. You can outvalue other engine decks as well. And you have that really nice short round with Regis Reborn, potentially with Protoflater if you've leader charges. But Protoflater is less consistent, I would say. So it's up to you if you want to run him. I just remembered making a video on him a while back and figured we'd put him in a deck eventually. And he works out pretty well. And so does the deck. I do like this one. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.